Everyone, this is Dr. Absalam here, and I'm going to be breaking down inducement or liquidity in the simplest form possible. So, what is an inducement in the market or liquidity? It's just the way it's just the an inducement is just a liquidity that's near to your point of interest. For market to move from point A to point B, it needs liquidity. So, when you have a point of interest that you want to take your buy or sell from, that point of interest needs to have a form of buying or selling power around there that is there as trap in the market for early buyers or early sellers. So let me show you what I mean by that. So let's say we have an uptrend like this. We have a break of structure. We have a pullback and this, right? So now this right here, this is the classic uptrend in the market. We know that this is our break of structure in the market. And once we establish our break of structure, we mark out the point of interest that was responsible for breaking the structure, right? So once we mark out this point of interest that was responsible for the break of structure, this point of interest, for it to be valid, for it to be a high probability point of interest, it needs to have liquidity that is close to that place. So when buyers were buying from here, they broke this structure and sellers start selling from here. But when they got back here, early buyers started buying from here. Meanwhile, price has not gotten back to the point of interest that it needs to get back to here. So this right here now becomes your inducement or liquidity in the market, because some people are buying early from here. So this is a trap in the market. The market is showing a false sign that it is going. It's pulled back but did not get back to the point of interest. It's showing a false sign that it's going. And when people buy from here, what usually happens is that the market will now come and stop them out and trigger at the right point of interest before eventually going to the direction that it needs to go to. So inducement is just liquidity that's close to your point of interest in the market. That's just it. When you have a point of interest, market needs to create liquidity when moving towards that particular point of interest. So we have two type of inducement. We have this single inducement right here, and we have trend line inducement. So when you have a point of interest like this, when you have this sorry, so we have two type of inducement: the single inducement, which is this one, and we have the second one, which is the trend line inducement. So when you have your break of structure, you have your point of interest. Now pay attention, this was a single pull down inducement, right? So this now, when you have a point of interest and price is approaching your point of interest, doing something like this, creating a low trend, approaching your point of interest like this, right? So this also validates as inducement in the market, because that is price action, market generating liquidity for this particular point of interest to be triggered. We have your break of structure here. We have this break of structure here, right? And this trend line liquidity that market is generating, this market creating liquidity so that when it start moving, eventually when it gets here, this is what we call trend line liquidity. So when it gets here, it will trigger and it start going. So inside all this price action, there are a lot of people that are going to be stopped out early. There's a lot of volume that's going to be the market. People selling from here, people buying from here, people selling from here, getting stopped out, people buying from here. And we have all this trend line liquidity, which is money for the market. So these are the two type of liquidity that I personally use: the single pullback liquidity, single pullback inducement, single pullback and the trend line inducement. So these are the two inducement that I used in the market. These are the two ones that I use: the trend line inducement and the single pullback inducement. So let me show you an example of it in the market live. So now this is an example of the trend line inducement right here. This is an example of it. As you can see, we broke structure here. We have this break of structure right here, right, indicating that price is bullish on this particular place, indicating that price is bullish, right? So after indicating that price is bullish, now we have our point of interest, the one that I mark out right here. Look at how price approached that point of interest. Price approached that point of interest, creating higher high. You see, creating some sort of liquidity around that area before it eventually triggered and start going up. So this is the trend line inducement. It's just liquidity around that area. There needs to be way for a point of interest to be valid. There needs to be a trap, a money trap that's close to that place. So that's what an inducement is all about. So this is the trend line inducement, and this is the single candle inducement. So we have a break of structure here, right? This is how I trade. All my trades are very, very similar like this. We have a break of structure here. We have the point of interest that was responsible for break of structure. After breaking this structure, look at this like this. There's that same thing that I draw. We have high, low. We have this break of structure, right? After breaking this structure, look at this pullback. This pullback, it did not get to our point of interest right here. It's pullback. People start buying. Some people start buying from here, pushing the market up, but it failed. Come and take them out before eventually coming to the point of interest, and that's when the market start going up. So there were some people that started buying from here, people that trade FEG, they started buying from here. So this pullback right here, this whole pullback, this is what the inducement is all about. The pullback, this is what the inducement is all about. So these are the two types of inducement that I use in the market. And if you enjoy this video, like content like this, follow for more. See you on the next video.